2, 1. Ooh. There I am. How you doing, friends? Ernie here. And this is the Zero Dash DTE podcast number 60. And today's topic is Black Friday deals for Zero DTE. That's right, Black Friday deals for Zero DTE. Ooh. You would absolutely not believe what I have in store for you. The most unbelievable deal of the century. All you have to do is listen for a few minutes, maybe 15, maybe 30. No. And then you will be able to piece together the deal of the century here on Zero DTE. What is Zero DTE? Zero DTE stands for 0 days to expiration. This is the last day of expiration, not the last day of deals. Most people are calling these Black Friday deals, but Friday isn't for another couple of days after Thanksgiving. Traditionally, that's when we had Black Friday. And Black Friday was a day where most governments would relax taxes, sales taxes on products, so that you could go to the store and buy stuff willy-nilly without any fear of paying extra money on taxes and get a little bit of a deal. Plus, the store might provide some incentive too and lower their prices, and you get some good deals. And it got so huge that people would line up at the doors of their favorite department store early in the morning, waiting for it to open up. Sometimes they'd camp out overnight. Believe it or not. This is all pre-online shopping and everything and pre-pandemic, but I remember in the Boston area, the biggest Black Friday sale was always Filene's Basement or one of those stores in Boston. And people would line up forever. And then it turned into a Walmart thing because Walmart would show all these deals and people would line up and then they would bash the doors down and trample over each other. But now with Amazon being our de facto retailer, and because it's online, there are no doors to bash down. What we really need are Amazon stores. Amazon stores, brick and mortar stores that we can bash the doors down and trample on each other. Because without that, you lose that visceral feeling of what Black Friday is all about. And what is it all about? I don't know. To save a few dollars? You get much better deals if you wait until after Christmas, the last couple of days of Christmas when everybody's returning and retailers they're going nuts having to fork back out, give back all that money that they brought in on Friday on things and shit that people didn't want. Now they're returning. Those are the times. That's the best time to get deals. You're going to get much better deals, better selection, better price. But people can't wait. They cannot wait. Because look, you can't go into Christmas season or any other gift-giving holiday season empty-handed. You need to get your deal. Some of us who aren't into that whole holiday thing and gift-giving thing, I give gifts all year round. So every day is Christmas here at the Ernie household. So that is the fervor. That is the tradition. And that is to pound people, stomp on them just so that you can save a few cents. And then you can get a deal that you feel satisfied with so that you can give it to your loved one or friend or whoever. And that's supposed to be a deal. That is the culture. That is the degenerate culture that we live in. And so when I put a Black Friday deal up there for a service like the Zero DTE, people are glued to the screen wanting to know, Ernie, what is the deal you're going to give me? The deal that I can get into your service and learn how to trade the last day of expiration on the S&P, where I can make untold amounts of riches. What is the deal that you're going to allow me, that easy step into your service? What is it going to be, Ernie? Don't hold out. If anything was really worth it, there would be no reason to provide a deal. The deal would be the product or service itself. The fact that you could obtain it and then use it and then realize a profit or a service or a benefit from that thing, a true benefit. It would be unspoken. There would be really no reason to discount it at all. As a matter of fact, it may even come at a premium and you would still pay for it. And that, my friends, is the reason why there are no Black Friday deals here at Zero DTE. Because the plain and simple fact is that this service, this strategy, the methods, the process that we go through, the world-class support that you get, there is no equal here or anywhere. I will name all the other Zero DTE services that are out there, and I will encourage you to go to them. Try them out. Take their trial. Really. And then come back here. They may even be offering a Black Friday deal. Take them up on the deal. Really. It'll be a waste of your time and your money, but I encourage you to do it because I know when you come back here and you compare what we're doing to them, you're going to wonder why you spent... Ernie, why did you send me there? Again, it's one of the reasons why there are no Black Friday deals here. There never will be. I will never discount any of my services. Why would I do that when you're already getting the best possible service as a, whether it's Zero DTE trading or even day trading? I would say that there is no other day trading strategy, online strategy that you could purchase or participate in that would in any way come close to matching our performance and the value that you get here. In fact, I will take any other service that you can name, any of them, and we will go head to head with what we provide and the strength or the edge that we have on our service and our strategy and our methods against anybody else's. And I'll put up whatever they want, anything. And I guarantee that not only will we beat them, but we will trounce them. We will stomp all over them, just like Black Friday deals at Walmart. We will pound their heads into the ground. We will just... Damn! Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference here at Zero-DTE and any other Zero DTE or virtually any other day trading strategy that is out there. There is no equal. And that's...
New visitor.
Just go look at the testimonials. Decide for yourself. Take the trial. There's no risk there. The worst that's going to happen when you take our 4-week trial is that you're going to get a 4-week intensive education on the best strategy that is available. A strategy that actually has edge. And one that you can trade with virtually any account size. Well, there is a minimal size account. In order to trade it, you would need at least a couple $1,000, $3,000, I think would be a good starting place. Has the best drawdown characteristics, has the best risk and best return on risk characteristics, has the best in terms of the level of confidence that you will engender, the amount of anxiety or the lack of anxiety that you will experience. There is no equal. It's as simple as that. And I could go on here and some may think that this is arrogant that I'm saying these things. But it's not arrogant when you're telling the truth. Come and join the service. zero-dte.com/try. Do a 4-week trial. I charge for the trial. I charge you money for the trial. But if you join the service after the trial, I will rebate that money. If you decide not to, like I said, the worst that's going to happen is that you're going to get a 4-week intensive course, strategy lesson, go through the gauntlet, and you will become a better trader after that. How can you beat that? You can't. Let's see. Do we have questions? Hey, Ernie, I just signed up for the trial 2 days ago. Awesome! We love to hear that. Dan saying, I'm in. Last Friday's profit was 10 times the annual fee. Yeah. That's the other thing that you'll find out. You'll find that when you join and you start trading our strategy in the trial, with the most likely thing that's going to happen if you follow our direction and you do everything that we're talking about and you embrace what we're doing, our methodology, if you embrace it, really truly embrace it, that you are likely to make enough money to pay for several years of a subscription here at Zero DTE. That is how good it is, as Dan says. Thanks, Dan. So what is it that we do? We trade, or I should say that we sell premium on options on the S&P for futures and the SPX on the very last day of expiration every week. And here's the great thing. With the S&P, there are 3 separate options contracts that are expiring every week, except for this week because of the holiday. We don't have it this week because Thursday and Friday, basically markets close. Friday, the markets close or open until 1 o'clock, but it's not enough time to really do anything of any consequence. We won't be trading then. We're taking this long 4-day weekend off. But 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, options contracts are expiring on the biggest index, the most popular index, the most popular market in the world.
Returning visitor.
What is so special about that? What's special is that there are only really 2 edges that you get in this market as day traders or short-term traders. One is arbitrage, and that is essentially the purview of the market maker. They have a perfect arbitrage where they make money between the spread of the bid and the ask. Guaranteed profit. If you can become a market maker, guaranteed profit. Guaranteed. It's as simple as that. What other type of vocation can you go into where there's guaranteed profit? The other is selling premium. Both of these things are the 2 number 1 ways that investment or institutional investors and professional investors make money in the market. It is also the two significant ways that most retail traders avoid. Why could that be? There are a number of reasons for that. Most of it is out of pure ignorance, but some of it is because that's where brokers are pushing people. They're pushing them towards other types of things like technical analysis and order flow and price action and Elliott wave and all this other crap, all designed for them to do one thing, and that's to create transactions for the benefit of the broker. We sell premium on the last day of expiration when premium is expiring at its most accelerated rate until it gets down to 0. And as the seller of premium, that decaying premium is going out of the people who buy options and into the pocket of people who sell options. And that's who we are. So we have built-in edge, and that's not the only edge. There are many edges, many strong edges with each in of itself would make a very strong trading strategy. But we take these edges, at least 3 very solid, well-defined edges, and we stack them on top of each other to produce a strategy that is without equal. Not only is the strategy strong, but the nature of the trading, the nature of what we go through, the asymmetric risks that we take, the philosophy that we follow that is based on black swan theory and anti-fragile and fooled by randomness, these seminal books by Nassim Taleb, all of that is baked into this process. Those things provide an incredible edge that produce very little drawdown, if any. I think max drawdown that I've experienced since doing this strategy is maybe 1%, tops. And that's really stretching it. And 0 anxiety. That's because our risks are very small, but our potential profits are very large, where our risk to reward, average return on risk is 150 to 200%, with many trades making 400, 500, 800, even 1,500% on the risk that we take. So the losers are so small that they're almost inconsequential. We don't even try to manage them. In fact, we do not manage our risk here at Zero-DTE. We never manage the risk. It's like a wasted effort. It provides nothing. So we don't manage it, but what we do manage are the profits. That is what we're focused on totally, on how much profit that we can make on these trades. If it's not there, no problem. We move on to the next one. There's going to be 3 every week. Not an issue. This is in stark contrast to all the other zero DTE traders and services that are out there that take humongous risk on what they call very high probability trades, where they're putting down thousands of dollars to make a pittance. And when they get in that trade, they are anxiety ridden because almost immediately they go into the red and often stop out. There's another thing. We never use stops. There's no need. Now, Monday was a very good example of, a trade that went against us, and we actually made a lot of money in 2 directions. So we did a very unusual trade on Monday. I call it the Batman trade. And if you go back to Monday's podcast, number 59, and check that out, it's very instructional. But the initial trade didn't seem like it was going to really work out, so we put on another trade, basically bookending the market. So we would make money if it went way up or way down. Now what happened was the market went way up. We profited, took those off early in the trading day. Then we took the original trade and we took off the short strikes because they had made all of the profit that they were going to make for the day. Again, selling that premium. We took that premium in and we said, thank you very much. Then the market reversed and went down. What was left were long puts at virtually no cost. And we made a huge killing. So we made a big killing going up, big killing going down. Easily 7, 8, 900% return on a very small little bit of risk, which is normal here. That's what we do. Let's see, there's another question here on TradingView. Which extra market data should we add on? The CME group? Yes, the CME group. The CME group will give you the E-mini futures. Oh, by the way, speaking of Black Friday deals, TradingView does have a Black Friday deal that I take advantage of every year. And that's up to 60% off when you buy a whole year up front. And it's really cheap, like $190 or something like that. And you'll get a whole year of TradingView. Now, why do we use TradingView? We use TradingView because TradingView has the best implementation of volume profile. So there's another thing. We do not use technical analysis, ever. We're not using, any chart patterns. We're not using any of the indicators. We're not using trend lines. We're not using MACD or RSI. We're not using Elliott wave. We're not using price action. We're not using any of that. Yet our predictive powers, our ability to map out the market structure is equal to none. And it's all through volume profile. Volume profile not being what I consider an indicator because it contains the same raw data that's actually in your candlesticks. Actually, it contains more than what your candlesticks contain because your candlesticks only have price and time. Volume profile has price, time, and volume. So in my view, volume profile is a more complete representation of the market, and it allows us to see where the value is and where the value is not, and where the true support and resistance levels lie. And then from there, we can create a market structure that tells us how price will behave as it traverses across that structure. And then from that, we can model our premium collection strategies, our option collection strategies, on that market, map it to that market structure, and that's how we profit. Now, I'm giving away a lot of these details, but I'm not really giving away anything. You can go to the past 60 podcasts and learn all about it. You can go to the website and look at all of the archived videos. You can go to this YouTube channel here. Now, if you're on the podcast, obviously, you're on Apple, iTunes, or whatever, you're not seeing this. But if you go to my YouTube channel, just search for 0DT on YouTube. and watch the videos there, and you'll get a good idea of how we put together the strategy. Of course, that's only part of it, and only part of the service, and part of what we do to turn you into a professional trader. And that's really my goal. My goal is to turn every person that is in our strategy, in our service, into a true life professional trader, someone who could literally take this and expand it and build on it and turn it into a career. And that's it. Let's see. Walter Rock. Which TradingView level do you recommend? Pro, Pro Plus, or Premium? The minimum, you can do the minimum level of TradingView, and that will get you access to Volume Profile. I also suggest that you get the real-time data, which is what he was saying. That's the add-on, the CME group, and that will give you real-time futures of all the E-mini products. And that's worth a lot.
Returning visitor.
So those are the two things that I would get. I think it's an extra $2 a month or something. It's minuscule, but TradingView by far has the best volume profile implementation for the price. There's other good volume profile implementations out there, such as in NinjaTrader. There are a couple of others, but they cost a lot. And those platforms aren't as accessible. They're good, but not as accessible. There's Volume Profile in Thinkorswim, which happens to be the best, hands down, options analytical trading tool out there. And they have Volume Profile, but their implementation just totally blows chunks. It's horrible. And things like Tastyworks, which also has a very good options trading platform, has no Volume Profile. So there are very few places where you can get it. TradingView has the best. It is the cheapest, the best implementation, bar none. That's where I would recommend. All right. Oh, we got another question here. Your trade alerts, do you publish those on Discord? Sorry, I missed the question. Yes. Everything is done in the Discord. Now, we have the website, and the website has all of the archived videos, the podcast, as well as a course, actually a couple of courses that I'm developing on some of the option strategies and the methodology right there. But all of the resources, the trade room, the alerts, everything happens on Discord. And it's a trade room that's literally open 24 hours a day. You'll get all the support that you need. There are hundreds of traders there that are all like-minded, doing exactly the same thing, all killing it. That's what I suggest, and that's how our service is run. Let's see. You're welcome. All right. So that's all I have to say about Black Friday deals. And I'm sorry if I disappointed you in telling you that there is no special 0 DTE Black Friday deal, except that the 0-DTE service in of itself is a deal beyond compare. All right. In fact, I would say that our service, at the cost that it is, still 100 times better than any of the other services if they were completely free. Now that's a deal. All right. Now I'm done. You're welcome. Thank you very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. And please have a great Thanksgiving for those people that celebrate Thanksgiving. I know that Canadian viewers, you did Thanksgiving, I think, a little while ago, right? A couple months ago or a month ago. That's great for you. For us, it's coming up tomorrow. Be well and peace to you all. Oh, more questions. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, Thanksgiving to you all. Where is that off button? There it is, way up there. Bye.